I said to him, and you need me to tell you what to do. I said, well, the only thing I can tell you, if something is telling you do not tamper, do not tamper. He said to me, are you kidding me? This is your daughter's life we are talking about. And so I said, okay, I know. But if something is telling you do not tamper, I told you I was sending my God in with my daughter. And if he's the one telling you do not tamper, he said, so what now? Just close her up? I said, close her up. And he said, okay. Believe it or not, he went ahead, he closed my daughter up, he didn't do anything else. They brought her back to the NICU. She stayed overnight, she was fine the following day. They went in for the CT scan again, and afterwards they were checking for the bleed in the brain. And do you know, the bleeding in the brain had stopped on its own. And then now they're going to start getting things together to have surgery, because if the bleed stop, the brain is automatically gone. She's not out of harm's way. She's not out of harm's way. But it gives a little room for the swelling to calm down. And that's exactly what happened. My daughter went and had surgery 2 days after the bleeding had completely stopped. They got everything together, and the neurosurgeon said to me, when it was time for her to go in, the neurosurgeon said to me that we are taking her in, Miss Mitchell. Most likely she's not coming back out. He said that to me. He looked at me and said that to me. Don't ask me why I didn't fall apart by someone telling me that my daughter is not going to come back out of a surgery room. Don't ask me why I was not screaming. Don't ask me why I was not fearful, because to be honest with you, I was not fearful. While all of that is going on and they're in the room and they're prepping my daughter, there was this little girl, 8 years old. I can never forget this child. She was on a bed next to my daughter, and she had been in this coma-like situation with lupus. This child had tubes all over her body. All over her body. My heart broke. Her grandma was the one there at the time. I thought it was a mom, but it was her grandma. And then I called her and I asked her what happened to this little girl. And she said to me that she is in a coma with lupus and it's about 5 days now. And I was like, wow. I said, are you a mom? She said, no. She said, I'm her grandmother. I said, where's her mom? She said that her mom went home to change, to shower and all of that, and she is standing in right now. I said, well, I'm going to pray for you. But I said, do you believe in God? And she said, yes. I said, okay, I'm going to pray with you on behalf of this little girl, your granddaughter. You need to stand in the gap for her. I'm going to pray with you. I prayed with her. But while I was praying, I realized certain things that was coming out of my mouth in this prayer was more than me. What I was saying was like, it's not like it was out of my league, but the manner in which I prayed, God himself was allowing me to open my mouth and say what I was saying. And then immediately after I finished praying for her, I tell her, God bless you, and I will see you later. And I head down to the waiting room to wait for my daughter. My daughter's surgery at that point in time, what I knew was supposed to last for 6.5 hours. They took her down. I am in the waiting room. I'm waiting upon somebody to come out and tell me something. Somebody to come out and tell me something. I didn't see anybody. Nobody never came out at no point in time to say anything to me, guys. And I'm just there. And your will be done, Lord. I was not as worried as pacing or anything. I was just sitting there. I'm not chilling and happy, no. But I was just sitting there waiting for my child to come out of surgery, because you will not tell me that my child will not come out of surgery. One of the things that I strongly believe in life, doctors do not have the last say so. God is the one that gives life. God is the one that takes life. His will be done. 10 hours later, my daughter came out of this operating room. And when she came out of this operating room 10 hours later, we went upstairs, stayed with her, all of the things. But the following day, she was there, and they asked that they stop all her medication. They stop all her medication. They asked that she stop all her medication. So my son's father at the time was there, holding on for me. And I went home to shower and to whatever and to come back for a minute. It took me less than 2 hours because we were not living that far from the hospital. Anyway, upon my coming back, exiting the elevator, I am hearing this agonizing scream coming. At that time, I did not know it was my daughter. When I got to the room, I realized it was her. And the elevator is not right next to the room. It's way, way, way down. So she's going through all of this pain. And when I asked what's going on, well, we stopped all her medication because what? She just had surgery yesterday, guys. Why would you all take her medication away from her? Well, the neurosurgeon doesn't understand why your daughter is alive. He doesn't understand why she's still alive because he have no answers for that. So to test and to run blood tests, they need to remove all the medication from her system to run blood work that will give them some answers. I said, okay, that's fine. My daughter suffered miserably the next day. I was going to head out to church. Yes, throughout everything, all the time she spent in the hospital, I was going to head out to church. I don't stay the whole day, but I would just go for a few hours. It's almost like your vehicle is running out of gas and you need to stop by the gas station to get a little something to put in there for you to continue your journey. I went. But before I left, oh, I forgot a part about coming upstairs concerning the little girl that was next to my daughter that I prayed for. When I came upstairs, the first thing I saw, this little girl was around walking. She was walking with one IV in her arm, pushing the IV stand, and she was walking around, and her grandmother just ran and hugged me and said, thank you so much. I'm like, not me, you got it wrong. Give God the praise, honey. Give God the praise, and don't forget what he have done for you. Don't forget what he have done for your granddaughter or your family. Don't forget. Talk about his goodness in the land of the living. He's alive and well. And with that said, I was about to go to church the following day, like I said, and I called my daughter and I said to her, baby, do you believe in God? She said, yes, mommy. I said, are you sure? Yes, mommy. I said, because if you don't, let me know. She said, mommy, I believe in God. But she's in pain, guys. A lot of pain. You could hear it in her voice. Breaks my heart to hear she was in so much pain. And then I said to her, well, I'm going to pray for you and then I'm going to go to church. Because if there is one thing I believe, the God that took you through surgery, the same God that took you through surgery, have you in a place where doctors cannot understand why you were alive, compared to the surgery. Pain is minor, and if he get you through the surgery, he can take your pain away without pain medication. I prayed for her. I left my daughter crying on a bed, and I went to church. Went to church for about, I would say, for 3-4 hours. When I came back to the hospital, she was sitting, she was talking, and she was laughing. And, well, I asked what's up, and she said, mommy, I'm okay. And I said, you okay, baby? Yes. And the nurses came to me, the doctors came to me, and they said, well, we have a problem. And I'm like, what's the problem? Well, ma'am, the other problem is that from morning we've been asking your daughter what is her level of pain from 0 to 10. And she's been saying she don't have any pain, it's 0. She don't feel anything. So I said, well, God's will be done. I said, the same God that took my daughter through surgery, he was her surgeon. And the same God that took away her pain, those of us that don't believe in God, I am not here to force God down your throat, to make you believe what you don't believe in, to make you think. It is up to you to make decisions when it comes to your daughters, your children, your spirituality, your life. I can tell you one thing though. Back then, when this situation happened, I was like, when everything turned out good, not at once, because remember in the beginning, my daughter's entire right side was dead. She uses her right hand to write schoolwork and all of that. Then she couldn't use her right side at all. It was completely dead. It was so dead, it was black. So she was supposed to do physical therapy to get her back on track, to get her using her hand, her leg, and stuff like that. Things did not work out. And every time I went, it was one story after the other. And I bought a little exercising ball for her to hold in that right hand and to just squeeze. This is the only thing I bought for my daughter, I remember. And I said to her again, if God can get you through surgery, he can take away your pain. He definitely can get your body parts working like it used to when he first created you. And we left it at that. Every day I would make sure she squeezed this little ball in her hand. Of course, no exercise for her feet at all, but she would just try to be walking. At first, she had homeschooling. This teacher would come to her home and, you know, all of the things. And then, yeah, my daughter, while she couldn't use her right hand, she was using her left hand to start writing. And then, guys, now she can write with both her right and her left hand. She is 26 years old now. Like I said, she was 12 at the time. And every time we go to Downstate University Hospital, people don't know her. They will not remember her face. But they will say, oh my God, it's you. Oh my God, it's you. I'm like, you know her from somewhere. Well, I don't know her, but I know of her. I'm like, why? She's not supposed to be alive. She's supposed to be dead. At the time my daughter went to the hospital, I found out that some friends, some people, church people, whomever, was calling me and letting me know, you should take her to Manhattan. There are better doctors in Manhattan, and there are this, advising. And I said to them, well, there is a reason why God allowed for me to walk into this particular hospital today. It could have been any other, because there was Kings County Hospital right across the street. Those of us that know, we know. So there are other hospitals, but this is the hospital we came to. And I believe there was a reason. Later on, when my daughter was supposed to go in for her checkup, she went for her checkup. She saw that surgeon, that neurosurgeon, once after surgery. After that, when we went and we asked for him, he had already moved out of the state. He was no longer living in the state of New York. And the other thing that I do know at the time, he was the best surgeon there was in the state of New York. Not just the surgeon, but the neurosurgeon there was in the state of New York. His name is Dr. Ethan Benedetti. And Dr. Ethan Benedetti, if you are watching this at any point in time in your life, you come across this video, my name is Celine Mitchell. My daughter's name is Princess Alexander. She grew up to be a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful young lady. And I thank you that God used your hand to be able to work through my daughter. And today, she is still in the land of the living. Guys, the Bible says, trust in the Lord with all your might and lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. If there is one thing you'll learn about me on my channel, I dream God. I live God. I believe in Him with everything in my body. You will not be able to tell me anything else about God. Bad things happen in life. People is going to question why this and why that. Why not this and why not that? However, one of the things that I do know is that we belong to God in spite of the fact that we think that we can manifest things into our life. The only reason why my daughter is alive today because it was in the plan and the will of God for her life before she was even formed in my womb. That time would have come. The reason for my daughter's AVM is because they said that she was born with a disability in her brain. Some nerves and veins was connected together. So while she grew, it stretched along with her body, and it grew and it grew and it grew until it just popped. Now the thing about it is that they said if this is something they had any knowledge of, they would have been checking up on her and preparing for it. But since they didn't know she had that in her. They really didn't know. And I must say that my daughter came up from St. Lucia 1 year, exactly 1 year before the situation arises, and she was in New York. All things work together for good to them that love the Lord. This is my life. There is so many more testimonies I have to give, but my channel is gonna be about small DIYs, cleaning. It's not a channel that is based on particular thing. This particular vlog, it is a vlogging channel where I will vlog as much as I can on my daily life, what I go through, living with chronic pain, living with the fact that I can stand too long, living with the fact that I'm always laying down on my back, living with the fact that I am still responsible for having my 18-year-old son. He's in high school right now, living for the fact that I have to clean, I have to cook, I have to do all of those things. So you're gonna get a little bit of everything. Maybe sometime when I'm comfortable with the camera, I might even bring you all grocery shopping with me, which I don't do often. I always order and Instacart. But sometimes there's a little grocery shop out there that I go to if I come from a doctor's appointment or something and I'm getting out and I need a few things, then I stop there to get it. Yes. My home right now, I just moved there. As of July 20th, it was a year since I've been living here. This is another testimony altogether where I was, what I did. This is another testimony altogether for another time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for your support, each and every one of you. I pray that God bless you all with the blessings of the day that He have in store for each and every one of you. Please don't forget to like, please comment, subscribe, share, whatever you feel like doing. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll be happy to answer. Blessings, blessings, blessings to one and all.